CCTV Camera World is proud to provide support for products purchased from our website. If you purchased your product from another vendor, please contact the vendor you purchased from for further assistance. In this video, I'm going to show you how to locate the IP address and access the web interface of your NVR system from Avalonix. When we ship our NVRs, we set them to DHCP. In other words, they will automatically get an IP address from your modem or router. Now keep in mind, this is a local IP address within your local network. It does not mean that this IP address is accessible from outside of your local network or away from the building where the NVR system is. If you wanted that access, then you would have to enable port forwarding or set up DNS services. Like I said, you would need to set that up on your own, or we do also offer a paid networking support service where one of our knowledgeable technicians can set those two services up for you. So again, this is a local IP address within your local network. For external access, you would need to set up port forwarding. So in order to find that IP address, I need to right-click on my grid screen, click on the main menu button. It's going to prompt me to log into the admin user. I'm going to use the graphical login password. If you're unsure what your graphical user password is and you haven't changed it, it will be found on a label on the top of your NVR. It is this backwards C pattern, and then to enter it, I'm going to release my mouse button. Here in the main menu at the bottom, I see there are setting pages, and the IP address is located within the network settings, and then in the first tab, the TCP/IP page. So if you're not on this tab, you need to click on the TCP/IP tab. And here we can see there is a NIC1, otherwise known as Ethernet port or Ethernet. Yours may say a variation of those three things. Again, either NIC, Ethernet, or Ethernet port. Essentially, this is the port that you have an Ethernet cable connected from the back of your NVR to your router or modem. Here I see that my NVR through DHCP received an IP address of 192.168.1.226. That's verified down here on this IP address field as well. 192.168.1.226. I could click on the modify button and disable DHCP and set my own static IP address within my local network if I wanted to. However, for the sake of the video, I'm going to leave DHCP enabled, click OK, and then again, my IP address for my NVR that my NVR received is going to be 192.168.1.226. Now I can either write this IP address down, memorize it, or leave it up on my NVR and access the web interface using a laptop with the IP address pulled up right here. Now keep in mind, if your power goes out or your router or modem reboots, your NVR may not always get the same IP address, so you may have to come back and check this IP address from time to time. Again, in the event that your modem or router reboots, or if there is a power outage. Just be aware of that. Alright, now I'm on my desktop computer. I wrote down my IP address for my NVR in this notepad, and then I can access the IP address using Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. So I'm going to show you all three. So I'm opening Google Chrome. I'm going to type in the IP address. And that's 192.168.1.226. And then hit the Enter key. I can go ahead and maximize Chrome. And then I need to type in the username and password. Again, if you haven't changed it from default, the username and password will be found on a label on the top of your NVR. So I type that in, and then I can click the login button. It's going to take me to the main menu. It almost looks similar to the monitor interface that we just found the IP address in. Except now I can live view video directly from my computer from the system. So I click the live view button. It brings me to the live view grid screen. And then I can click on these channels to bring them into the web interface live view. So it's almost as though I were there at my mouse and monitor attached to my NVR, looking at the cameras from my system. So that's the live view page. You could also do search or playback. And you come in here and you select your date and your cameras, and then you can click on the timeline. And then you can view footage As you can see, I have some IVS rules overlaid on top of this channel. I'm going to exit out of the search tab. Next would be the AI tab. This is where you can search for AI events or configure AI events in the parameters tab. Alarm input. This is where you could set up your motion detection or if your NVR had alarm inputs or outputs. Here's some more system information in the maintain page. And then the rest of the menus available in the web interface are for configuration purposes. So this is accessing the web interface using Google Chrome. As I mentioned, I can also do it in Mozilla Firefox. So again, 192.168.1.226. Typing in the username and password again. Hitting enter on my keyboard or clicking the login button to log in. And then I have the same web interface. So once again, I can go to live view page and pull up a camera. So I'm able to view my system using Mozilla Firefox as well. I'm going to close out of this. Last but not least, on Windows at least, the third most popular browser at the moment would be Microsoft Edge. So again, I can type in this IP address, click enter, type in my username and password, click login, click on the view live video page, and once again pull in one of my cameras. So that's how you're able to view your web interface from your NVR system and view your cameras within the web browser using an Avalonix NVR system. Our systems also support Safari on Mac computers as well.
I'm on my Mac computer. I have Safari open, as you can see. I've entered the IP address of my NVR on the local network. I've entered the username, and now I'm going to enter my password. The great thing about these premium series Avalonix NVRs is that they're very friendly with Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and Safari. So I'm on my Safari browser without having to install any plugins. I can log into the NVR and start viewing video. When you log in, you'll be prompted with this main menu. Go to Live to view your cameras live. I'm using a 4-channel NVR. I have a PTZ added as one of my first cameras on there. And I can actually control the PTZ camera using the web browser without needing any plugins, as you can see. You can pan, you can tilt, and you can zoom. The only thing the HTML interface doesn't provide you is audio. It's due to restrictions by the Chrome browser or Safari browser due to security reasons. If you're looking to have the ability to listen in on audio or use the two-way audio options on certain Avalonix PoE cameras on your security camera system, we suggest using Windows or the iOS or Android app. There's also a PC software as well. You can use that. Besides being able to view one camera, you can view all four. If you like to do it in a quick fashion, you can just click on Fast Live and it will pull up the cameras. When you do that, it will pull them up in using the full mainstream, which is the highest resolution stream. As you can see, this is a 4 megapixel camera and the image is very clear in here. If you have a network that's not a fast network, such as a gigabit network, you may want to view each stream using substream. The NVR lets you select the streaming method, because when you try to view multiple cameras in 4K or 2K mode, they will consume a lot of resources on the web browser. So I've now switched my stream to substream. As you can see here, when I switched it, its quality became a little bit lower, and when I go back to mainstream, the picture becomes a lot clearer as I can read the license plates then. Besides being able to view live video, you can go in and you can play back video. And you can also change settings. You can go into the cameras, you can change their brightness contrast, you can name the cameras depending on if they're compatible cameras or not. And you can even administer the system by going into network settings and changing different variables in there. Hopefully this gives you a good, useful overview of how you can manage and view a premium series Avalonix NVR using your Mac computer. Thanks for watching.
If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.